Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In case you're new here, my name is Kim. This is Core Union. Today I'm going to read an email from one of my clients. She is doing incredibly well. She's really shifted her reality with her specific person. So one of the things that I really want to focus on with this video is that first, manifesting is just what you're experiencing in your reality. So it's not like a magic trick. I say this in all of my videos for a reason because I don't want you guys to be looking at it as if like it's just something that you're picking up and putting down and then watching your 3D to see if it worked, because that habit is what actually creates a lot of people to manifest a lack of movement. And then they get in their fear about it, and then they're actually successfully manifesting no movement. That is the dreaded loop that happens to a lot of people. That's why it's really important to start to really go in on a deeper level of this, a deeper foundational understanding. I do like seeing things from the perspective of infinite choices, infinite realities that you are selecting from one of infinite choices of the version of yourself, the version of your life, with the version of different people and the different experiences. When you look at it from that perspective, it makes it much easier, in my opinion, because when you wake up, you're going to tap into your first. I believe that you tap into source, then tap into yourself as being the operant power, then go into loving yourself, all of the qualities, the attributes that you really admire about who you are, what makes you such a wonderful this or that, like whatever it is that you want to manifest. But overall, just look at yourself and your life the way you want it to be. So clarity is huge. And then you're having little, after you do some affirmations, after you've tapped into source, then you have a bunch of little inner conversations very quick with the different people in your life around health, around these relationships, around money, security. Then have an inner conversation with your specific person from the dynamic of how you want the energy in the relationship to be. And when you have this inner conversation, you are not seeing any of this as being fake. You're realizing that this is how I shift and change my reality. So, what I'm experiencing right now is not fake. This is my coming attraction. This is what I am selecting. And if I'm selecting this, then this is going to be my experience. But then you don't go and check the 3D. You're not in waiting mode. You're in living your life, being grateful and having fun and enjoying yourself and listening to your soul. You're not anxious. You're not impatient. I know a lot of people will comment under videos that they've been trying to manifest whatever they're trying to manifest, and it's been a very long time, which just means that most likely you've been in this energy of being very much aware of your 3D. And I understand it's challenging, but you're going to have to let all that go. Okay. I love you so much. So I'm going to read this. I pray that it helps. Before I do, and this is going to be around specific person movement because it's extremely inspirational. Before I do read this, please do like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel if you love my content. I know that it's helping a lot of you guys. I see plenty of proof of that. Also, feel free to email me a short description to kim@coreunion.com with a little bit of what's going on with your specific person if you want me to help you manifest them back or to change the dynamic. And or if you also want to manifest better health, financial security, things like that, I've helped. Obviously, I've manifested all with myself for many, many, many years. And I've also coached many, many people who have also empowered themselves and had amazing results and are still manifesting. So let me move over now to this window here. Okay. So I'll just read this and then whatever comes out, comes out. So she wrote, Hi, Kim, Happy New Year. I'm writing to check in with you about how I've been doing with the steps you've given me to follow since the last time that we met, as well to share some movement I've had this past week with my specific person, Michael. Honestly, I always feel the need to say thank you to you. I joke about this, but I'm actually grateful that I ended up watching those silly 3D dating videos because at some point they led me to affirmation videos, which in turn led me to you. Your teachings, words, guidance, and affirmations have been so valuable and life changing for me. They've transformed my mindset, not just in manifesting for Michael, but in empowering all areas of my life. It's become part of who I am now. So, once again, thank you. I also wanted to write about some movement I've had with Michael I apologize in advance for the length. If you remember my past emails, you know I can be lengthy. As you know, Michael and I reconnected in October after a separation caused by a third party I discovered 2 months earlier. When he reached out, I felt so happy we were reconnecting, and I thought I had done enough mental work at that time. But I quickly realized I wasn't fully in my empowered self. I let the unknowns of the 3D circumstances take over, and I started meddling. I like to say middling. Convinced there was another third party, for the first time ever, Michael was the one to call things off, and it felt awful. I thought, what now? How can I manifest him back after this? That's when I reached out to you. You reminded me to focus on my self concept, trust, and forgiveness, both for him and for myself. I committed to affirming, though it was really hard at first. I doubted when I could manifest. I doubted sometimes whether I could manifest him back, especially after middling so much. But deep down, I couldn't shake the feeling that we're meant to be together. I kept thinking about all the special moments that we shared: laughter, music, inside jokes, and quiet gestures that showed me how much he cares for me. I realized with your help that he wasn't choosing me because I wasn't choosing myself. After about a week and a half of being in a funk, I decided I wasn't giving up on me or on us. I threw myself into my affirmations, trusting Source, forgave both of us, and started focusing on the end result with Michael. I also began improving my work and my health, researching new income streams, and believing that as I became the best version of myself, he was doing the same for us. This is so amazing and incredible. By December, I felt a shift. I became more aware of my thoughts, quickly identifying triggers and redirecting myself into gratitude, not just for Michael, but for all areas of my life. This is so big. This is such a wonderful, wonderful way that she's really empowering herself. I realized that whether or not we were together, I would be okay. In a way, it felt like Michael had given me this gift of finding myself. Wow. This past Saturday, I felt inspired to reach out to him, not to seek validation, but simply to thank him. I asked if he was doing well, and though his initial response was brief, I expressed my gratitude for the role that he played in my healing. He eventually replied that he was doing well, and I told him I was glad to hear that. And that was it for that night, and I felt proud of myself for not needing anything more at all. The next day, he texted me to ask if I was enjoying my Christmas vacation. I replied yes, and I asked him about his work, to which he said it's going great. And that night he invited me to dinner, so I agreed. Kim, it was such an amazing night. There were so many little coincidences. For example, I've been manifesting a Mini this year, and when I arrived at his house, there was a brand new Mini in his driveway. We spent part of the evening talking about the car, comparing trim options, and discussing features as if we were shopping together. Later, he even let me drive in his Mini and told me to floor it when we were at an open stretch of the road. And this is a brand new one that he only had for 2 weeks. He also shared updates about the house he recently bought, the one I had imagined us living in together. I had visualized us doing everything there, from cooking to decorating for the holidays. And he showed me pictures of the furniture he'd picked out. He slipped and said, "We have a Target nearby." It caught me off guard. Did he mean us? And of course he did. He seemed to value my opinion about everything, and I felt so good that he was sharing his excitement with me. Later, when we were trying to connect his phone to his hotspot because he had already shut his internet off, he gave his provider his PIN number, and I was in shock. The alignment was uncanny because the first 3 digits of the 4-digit PIN number was also my PIN number. The next day, leading up to New Year's Eve, his communication became very sparse. It was unlike how we used to communicate last year, but I wasn't bothered. I was just super grateful that he had pursued seeing me again because I thought he had written me off. The thing that had happened previously, I believe in October, I think that's when it happened. It was what a lot of you guys would be thinking: I've ruined it forever. It didn't matter because circumstances never matter. It gave me faith that what I feel for him, he feels too. On New Year's Eve, I texted my usual good morning, but he didn't reply until later. I asked him if he had plans, and again, no response. I decided to simply wish him a wonderful evening without attaching meaning to it. He replied, "Thank you so much." I felt calm and blissful, excited to ring in the new year as the new version of myself that I've been manifesting. At exactly 12:01, he texted me, "Happy New Year, love," with kiss face emojis and said, "Wishing you the best 2025, love." It was such a beautiful feeling. I replied, wishing him the same and affirming that 2025 would be amazing. On January 1st, we didn't text much, but later that evening, he asked if I was ready to go back to work, and I said yes. And I asked, how's his house packing going? But he didn't reply again. Again, I didn't attach much meaning to it. I just said good night, and he replied, sweet dreams. The next day, I texted him good morning with a kiss emoji, but he didn't reply. Instead, of reacting as I would have in the past, sending a frustrating text or pulling away, I decided to detach, not out of spite, but from a place of peace. Today, I didn't reach out and neither did he. While it does bother me a little, it doesn't like it did before. I'm working on identifying what might be creating this shift. For a moment, I wondered about a 3P, especially when with him moving into the new house, but I quickly redirected. I affirmed that I am always the one he chooses and that no external circumstances could ever change that. I visualized us living in the house together and denied any negative stories. I plan to buy another package with you soon. I just wanted to share this update for you. I'm confident in our connection and what I've been doing, and I know it's all working. Happy 2025. So that is perfect. So now, before I end this video, I just want to say that you really do want to make sure that where you said you detached was really good because you don't, you want to remember that the things that are happening now in the 3D are simply the unfolding, and they're unfolding because you got to a state where you were in trust of yourself and that you knew that you were becoming the person in your reality who was chosen, who was loving herself, who was grateful for all of the things that she's manifesting. And you were being very empowered with that. So you want to make sure now that you go back to exactly what you were doing before and be very careful. I know that it can be very easy to. This is where you want to remember the 3D is just the reflection. Okay. So you want to keep choosing yourself and keep staying in balance with yourself. Keep staying secure and grounded in your power of trusting yourself, of trusting that you're doing everything perfectly and that everything is working perfectly because it's already done, or you just wouldn't even have ever wanted it. You couldn't desire something unless that was a possibility, unless that was done, because all creation was done and all creation is existing in the now moment. Okay, so let go of the idea of past, present, future. Everything is in the now, so you can let go and release all of the blame, shame, guilt, circumstances from the things that happened in your past. And you can shift and change who you are in your self concept and how your self concept includes how you see yourself, how you see others, how you see relationships, and how you see yourself in those relationships. So get super clear on all of it. Let go of the past, forgive, forget, get back in your power, get back clear of what you want, and stay that way. So, morning, somewhere in the middle of the day, before you go to sleep, about 10, 15 minutes, every hour or two. And this is whatever you're manifesting. It doesn't matter whether it's money, security, health, different forms of relationships, a promotion, a business success, anything at all. It's all the same. So every hour or two, remind yourself for 2 or 3 seconds who you are. If I have something come up, I just ask myself, and this is around every area, if I was this or that, how would I feel right now? And that's it. And gratitude and being grateful is massive because I've manifested money, health, homes, cars, businesses, success. Anytime when I am in, like I'm down and out on something, I'm feeding into my ego, my fears, my limits. Being grateful for the things that I currently have manifested in my reality for me is a game changer. So don't sleep on that because I do think it's an important thing. Okay. So anyway, I love you so much. I pray that this video helped. Reach out to me if you need me, and I will talk to you guys soon. I love you. Bye.
Nothing can come, nothing can come, nothing can come between us.